Hi, guys, and welcome to Finish Up Friday, episode 37. Let's get down to our stamping service and finish up where we left off on Wednesday. Okay,
Okay, so, oh my goodness.
sorry about that. I don't know why it is that sometimes I must have had an update, so sorry about all that noise. Um, anyway, so where we left off on Wednesday was we had our base, which is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. This particular color is Lost Lagoon, and yes, I cut this when I didn't have a good blade on. Anyway, then we have two pieces of either cardstock, designer series paper, whatever you would like. They're going to be 2 3/4 by 1.5. We're going to have two pieces that are 2 by 1.5. We have a 3.5 by 2.5 darker layer and a 3 by 2 sentiment layer. Now, like I said, I haven't really thought too far ahead on this, and I don't have that many examples. I've been in meetings all week. I wasn't able to travel to Florida. Just didn't feel like, with my immune system, I wanted to be on a plane and go down there. So usually during my lunch hours and that, I will go ahead and, do up a couple cards for Friday, but I didn't get to it this week, so I'm sorry. I only have a couple to show you. And I'm going to start it off by showing you where this idea came from. Inside of our catalog, now remember, all the images inside of this catalog are copyright Stampin' Up. So this is page 35 in the catalog. And let me see if I can focus in on this a little bit more. Let me see. All right, hopefully. So we had this card, and it's inside of a page protector. So I'm sorry if it's not that very clear. But I kind of liked how we had the two different lengths going up and down, and then the two lengths going side by side. And I should have probably measured to see exactly how far this was, but I kind of guesstimated it. So again, that's where this idea came from. Page 35 in the annual catalog. All these images are copyright Stampin' Up. All right, got that out of the way. I usually forget sometimes to give you my little pitch when at the end of the video. Anyway, so I'm going to do this pretty basic today. I'm not going to emboss the back. I am going to take out my Versamark though, because everybody loves Versamark. Ooh, sorry, I hit the camera. Not good. And I can't get enough of this Irresistible Blooms. I don't know if you saw my video from last weekend where I talked about the online exclusives, but this is an online exclusive, and it's just the most fabulous stamp set. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the leaves in the Versamark, and I'm actually going to put them on a block at the same time to kind of make a background look on this card. So let me go ahead and move these pieces off to the side for right now. Mark and get some images on my background. Yes, it's easier to turn the cardstock than it is to turn the stamp. That's like stamping 101. So yes, I'm going to get some Versamark on here. I'm not too worried about that. You know what? I'm going to go actually this way on this. All right, so there I feel like I've got a good background going on that card base. You could emboss this. You could stamp in white. You could stamp in tone on tone. So you could stamp with the Lost Lagoon. I just went ahead and used the Versamark. This off to the side for now, just so I remember I have to clean it. Okay, so from that example, we had two pieces that went like this, and then we had the two pieces that went like this. Now these I like bringing off right off the edge instead of leaving a layer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my lasting label punch, and I'm going to actually going to pull it through like this. Sorry. I'm actually going to make it, sorry. Got to remember where that is. So I like lining it up like that. I'm going to make sure that both of my little circles are on the cardstock. Half press it down and then press it all the way down. I got a little bit off on the side there too. So then on the other side, again, I'm going to pull it all the way through. Line that up so it's right on the edge of my punch. Oops, sorry, I'm offline. Let me show you what I'm doing again. So I'm pulling this through. I'm making sure that this is lined up with the edge of that and that my circles right here are completely on and punching down. All right. And then I don't think I'm going to do that. Do I want to do that? No, I'm not going to do that on those. You could do both ends of this so they all look, I'm just going to go like this so it looks like it's actually wrapped around the side. So let me go ahead and grab out one of my Stampin' Seals. I'm not going to put any stamping or embellishments on this. Just going to go right to that edge. And yes, usually I will use my trimmer to make sure it's completely lined up. Remember to eyeball it today. All right. These I'm not going to stamp on. They're so pretty on their own. Yes, I could stamp on it, but I'm not going to. Oh, my timer's going off, which means my laundry is done. I try to get so much done before I punch in for work at 8:30 Central Time. So hopefully my daughter's up getting ready for work, so hopefully she doesn't come in and say, Mom, the timer's going off. All right, so let's just go ahead and go like that. Looks gorgeous so far. So now let's go ahead, getting that Irresistible Blooms. Love it, love it, love it. Let me cover that up for a second. So what I'm going to do is I made a mask. I think this was also done last week on my video. And this is for this one, I believe. Yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stamp this. I'm going to stamp this in Highland Heather. Let me find Highland Heather. Because even though we don't have any Highland Heather here except for this, it kind of all is in the same scheme of things. Let's go ahead and pick up that flower. Go ahead, go like that. Let me put my little mask on there. I'm going to go back to those flowers. I'm sorry, to those leaves. And let me go ahead, take that one off. And then in my Lost Lagoon, so that's going to match my background. I'm going to go ahead and stamp the leaf right on there. That's really dark. Yeah, I should have done that. Let me go ahead and kind of line that back up if I can. Oh, that really turned out crappy. Anyway. Yeah, let's go to the other side. How about that? Let's try that again. Remember, and I think I'm going to stamp off once. I feel like that's just, the Lost Lagoon is just a little too dark. So let me grab out my piercing mat. Put my mask down. Do that again and come over here. There, much better, much better. Usually I'll use a brown when I am stamping words with nature, but I am going to just go ahead and use my memento just because it's right here. All right, let's get some of this out of the way. I have a lot to clean up before I start work. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll put that lid back on. Let's go ahead and put that on there. Let's go ahead and pop it up. Let's go back over here and put that down. You could add embellishments if you wanted to, but just for the sake of time, I'm going to leave it that way. So here's the one we created just now. Here's a couple extra that I did. This one, get that out of the way. This one, I used some of my old background papers I did with the pigment sparkles that also are no longer around. It's a little crooked there. Using the Irresistible Blooms again, adding a few jewels. So just using that background and then stamping straight on it, kind of tone on tone. And then here I used the Cascading Ruffles embossing folder on all of my Moody Mauve cardstock. Use the Hello Irresistible Designer Series paper, and of course the Dragonfly Punch, and then some of the flat backed adhesive pearls. So there you are, guys. Thanks for dropping in on Finish It Friday. Have a good Friday, and hopefully we see you this weekend. Give me a thumbs up, send me a comment, but most of all, just enjoy your day. We'll see you soon. Bye.